So good morning, everyone. I thought I would start off and tell you about the beginnings of my day. Imagine walking into work at the first Horizon Coliseum this morning, and the first person you run into is legendary All-American point guard from the University of North Carolina, Phil Ford, who won 2 ACC tournament championships right here in the Greensboro Coliseum at the time, now the first Horizon Coliseum, in 1975 and 77. And then you turn your head, and there's Derek Wittenberg, the All-ACC and team leader and the shooting guard for the 1983 national champion North Carolina State Wolfpack. You think your day started off pretty well, but it gets better. But then you turn and you run into a Loyola University, Maryland point guard. There's a theme here, point guards and shooting guards, who was the head coach of the Denver Nuggets, who won the 2023 NBA World Championship, and is now the new head coach of the North Carolina Tar Heels men's basketball program. And then talking to Coach Malone, you turn, and there's Justin Gainey. He's a High Point native, so welcome home. He played at Greensboro Day School, including the Little Four championships here in the Coliseum. He was a defensive specialist, a 20-year coaching veteran in college ranks, and he is the new men's basketball coach at the North Carolina State University Wolfpack. So I'm not sure how your day started, but my day started well, but it gets better. My name is Scott Johnson. I am the general manager of the First Horizon Coliseum at Greensboro Complex for Oakview Group. And on behalf of the Greensboro City Council and War Memorial Commission, I'd like to thank everybody for attending today and joining us for this special announcement. As many of you know, the Coliseum has a long history of hosting prestigious sporting events, and many of those involve college basketball, and in particular, teams from the state of North Carolina. From the 1960s to now, the road to college basketball greatness has been determined on Tobacco Road. Through the support of many organizations, including the North Carolina State Legislature, the Greensboro Sports Foundation, the Greensboro Convention and Visitors Bureau, and the Atlantic Coast Conference, today we are adding to our college basketball legacy. I would now like to introduce Chip Overby, who is the Senior Vice President of Strategic Planning for Old Dominion Freight Line, to make this special announcement.
Thank you. All right, good morning. Appreciate everybody coming and spending some time with us today and taking some time out of your schedules. I know everybody's busy. So at Old Dominion, we are excited to help deliver a promise of more basketball here in the Greensboro, now the First Horizon Coliseum, right? On behalf of Old Dominion, its leadership, the OD family of employees, we're honored. I'm thrilled to announce that we'll be the inaugural sponsor for what we will call the Tobacco Road Classic. And it will host the North Carolina Tar Heels versus the NC State Wolfpack. It will be on December the 15th here at First Horizon Coliseum. And with that, if you don't mind, direct your attention up here to the scoreboard just a second, and we'll let you see historically what this rivalry has been all about and what's coming here to Greensboro. Hey, I know it's August and I know it's hot outside, but if that didn't get you ready for some basketball, I don't know what does. So when we were first approached about this opportunity to be title sponsor of this event, and we sat and we talked about it just a little bit, there's really three things we landed on. First of all, this makes a lot of sense for Old Dominion because of the experience and the program we have in college sports to begin with. We have partnerships with 44 Power 4 schools, 2 of which are North Carolina and NC State. They're great partners in our program. So there's an alignment there. We also have a partnership with ESPN and Game Day. So all those things kind of work together, right? The second thing was just the tradition of this. You know, these two schools for 100 years played each other twice a year. Home and home. But that's changing. And at Old Dominion, look, we believe in tradition. We're a traditional company. We've got a great tradition as an organization, but we like traditions and we like rivalries. And we didn't want to see that tradition end. So we want these two schools to play each other twice a year because there's bragging rights. And I don't know what it's like in your family, but at mine, I've got some of both. So my head's on a swivel all the time with this. The other piece of this was just because it was here in Greensboro. I can remember growing up in this community, coming to the Big Four up until 1980. And it was North Carolina, it was the Wolfpack, State, Carolina, Wake Forest, Duke. I mean, that's what you had, and it started. So this is going to be a great prelude, I think, to the ACC season. And then the third thing was just simply the location, Greensboro. If you're a traditionalist, Greensboro is the heart of the ACC basketball world. It just is. And that's where everything begins. You know, our corporate office is here in the Triad. We moved here in the 50s. We have a major hub and break in Greensboro. We have another location in Kernersville. And hey, yes, we have a location on Tobacco Road down in Durham. So we get it, and we like it, and we want it to be a part of what's going on. So we were very, very proud to be a part of this. We are proud to watch it come about and keep this tradition of these two fine universities and these storied programs playing together. So we're just thrilled. Listen, I'm ready to throw the ball up. So thank y'all for coming.
Thank you, Chip, and we're grateful to Old Dominion Freight Line and their staff and team out there. We're also excited to announce today that not only will this game be taking place here in First Horizon Coliseum on December 15th, 2026, but it is a return game next December, and this is a 2-year deal to play both of these games in Greensboro. Everyone mark your calendars. Tickets for this year's game will go on sale Thursday, September the 10th at the Coliseum box office and firsthorizoncoliseum.com. We have a lot of people that helped us put this together, and the North Carolina State Legislature played a role in this. And today we have with us Representative Kyle Hall and Representative Donnie Lambeth. And their support was super important for us to be able to pull this together. And I'd like to bring Kyle up to the podium.
Well, good morning. As a Tar Heel fan, it certainly wasn't on my bingo card today to be sitting next to Coach Malone, but it's an exciting time to be here. I give you greetings from the North Carolina General Assembly. It was an honor to help make this happen, and also an honor for the state budget to include some money to help refurbish the Greensboro Coliseum. This is going to be a huge thing for North Carolina's economy. You know, like was mentioned a little bit earlier, I think North Carolinians expect or want NC State and Carolina to play at least twice a year, right? And I think having it here in Greensboro just makes it even sweeter because the amount of ticket sales that will happen here, the amount of economic activity that will occur because of this game when it comes to restaurants, when it comes to hotels, whatever it may be. This is huge for the Piedmont Triad. I'm happy that we were a part of it, and I can't wait to see the Carolina Tar Heels win here in Greensboro yet again, or NC State, but most likely UNC, I hope. But it's indeed an honor to be here today, and let's go win this one in December. Thank you.
Thank you, Representative Hall. As you all know, Greensboro has earned a national reputation as Tournament Town. for an elite level of hosting and prestigious sporting events. We cannot maintain that reputation without the efforts of the Greensboro Sports Foundation. The Greensboro Sports Foundation, led by Richard Beard, played a critical role in helping solidify the Tobacco Road Classic playing in Greensboro, and we look forward to our continuing partnership. And now to the two gentlemen that will coach the Tar Heels and the Wolfpack on December the 15th. The first regular season game in Greensboro between these two great teams since they met in the Big Four tournament on November 30th, 1979. I would like to welcome University of North Carolina head coach of men's basketball, Mike Malone, to share his thoughts on being part of the historical rivalry in the first year of head coaching the North Carolina Tar Heels.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Good morning. Pleasure to be here. Thank you for all coming out. First question I have is Phil Ford and Derek Wittenberg here yet? Are they on their way? 2 minutes. Well, there's no doubt in my mind that Derek Wittenberg is driving that car and got him lost. No doubt in my mind. There he is, speaking of the devil. How about a round of applause for Derek Wittenberg? Well, I will not take up a lot of your time. Unlike Justin, who played at NC State, this is all brand new to me. I'm coming from 25 years in the NBA, and you did not have these type of rivalries very often. And when I did my research, trying to figure out what this rivalry meant to the ACC and to these two fine schools, they played twice a year since 1919, and last year was the first time since 1919 they didn't have a home and home. And a huge shout out and a huge thank you to all the people that made this possible, because I think the fans have spoken, the administrators have spoken, the legislators have spoken, that this game matters. This game means something to everybody in this room, and I'm just really excited to be a part of that. I know back in Chapel Hill, I play in the Dean Smith Center, and I coach in the Dean Smith Center. I know Coach Smith won 7 ACC championships in this building, so I wasn't sure if this was also going to be called the Dean Smith Center. But obviously, it is the first Horizon Coliseum now. And Phil Ford, who I think is on his way, one of the great memories in this arena back in 1975, when Phil Ford was just a freshman, winning MVP and beating NC State in the ACC championship game. So those are some of the things that I've learned in a short period of time about what this game means. And I'm just really excited to be a part of that come December 15th. Have a lot of respect for Justin. I think he's a hell of a coach. He's a defensive-minded guard, a guy that could always play for me, and I look forward to getting to know him and competing against him for many, many years. So thank you once again for coming out, and look forward to seeing you all back in December. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Coach. We look forward to seeing you here not only on December the 15th, but North Carolina is also playing the University of Southern California here in First Horizon Coliseum on October the 9th. And then, of course, the ACC tournament will be played here in First Horizon Coliseum the second week of March. And now we're excited to introduce North Carolina State head coach Justin Gainey, a 20-year college coaching veteran. Before playing at State, Justin started at Greensboro Day School, playing here in what was then known as the Little Four Tournament. We are excited to now hear from Justin as we welcome him home as the first-year head coach of the North Carolina State Wolfpack.
Thank you guys, and man, it's great to be home. It's been a long time since I've been in here, and it's been a lot of great memories that have taken place in here for me personally, for NC State, and just the tradition. And I'm so excited that we were able to put this game together, and thanks to everybody that was a part of that. Coach, thank you for playing a big part in it as well. And from my side of things and from NC State, like coming back to Greensboro, coming back home for me is going to be a special moment, and I'm excited to see all of our fans come here and really show up and have a big impact and presence as we December comes and it's right around the corner. And so just, thank you. And Coach Wittenberg, great to see you. And glad you were able to make it up and spend some time with us today. But again, it's a lot of history, a lot of tradition here, and it's an honor to be playing this game, and I know that we would love to be doing it within ACC play, but man, what an opportunity, right? What an opportunity to come back to tournament town, right, to home and play this amazing game. So thank you guys. Thanks for everything. I'm really excited about it. So thanks.
So if you'll take a moment to recognize Phil Ford. And Phil, if you didn't hear earlier, we definitely determined Derek was driving the car.
I listened to it.
Thanks. Thanks, Coach. Thank.
He had one famous pass, though.
What? Was it a pass or a shot?
It was a pass.
Thank you guys for being here, and thanks, Coach Gainey. Before I wrap up, I would like to thank the two universities, the athletic directors and staff, the coaches for committing to these games, as well as ACC Senior Vice President of Men's Basketball, Paul Brazeau, for his guidance throughout the process scheduling these games. We invite you to stay for lunch today. For the media in attendance, speakers are available for interviews along with the ACC legends, Phil Ford and Derek Wittenberg, who are going to tell you why the North Carolina versus North Carolina State game was the game. It was the rivalry. It was the date circled on the calendar that we have to win. It wasn't Battle of the Blues. It was Battle of North Carolina State versus North Carolina. We look forward to seeing everyone back here on December the 15th for the inaugural Tobacco Road Classic presented by Old Dominion Freight Line. Thank you.